So let's go now. Thank you very much, Stephen. You know, we have been working together on this book during less than 1 year, and it was a success. Okay, we have to prepare the next book now. Okay, so now we will move to the second part of this afternoon. We will move to the graduation ceremony. And first part of the graduation ceremony, I have to say that the first part of the graduation ceremony will be on the Certificate of Research in Business Administration. Our students receive at the end of the first year their Certificate of Research in Business Administration. Just in time. And it is the end of the first year. They have to present their research project in front of a panel of a faculty member. They did it for some of them this year, for some of them a few months ago. And now they will receive the Certificate of Research in Business Administration from the Business Science Institute. And I will call the students from the different cohort, the cohort from Shanghai, the cohort from Frankfurt, but also the digital cohort, the English-speaking online DBA cohort, the DBA à distance in French, and the cohort of Douala, number 3. Can the student come on the stage? Frédéric, that's what is scheduled? Okay.
En anglais, vous n'avez pas compris, je viens de demander aux étudiants de venir sur l'estrade.
So, I will repeat, please. Where are the students who are here to receive their certificate? Of course, the Chinese students, they are not here. The Chinese students, they are not here because they cannot come. Hello? Where are you coming from?
Australia.
Australia. Where are you coming from?
Genève, Suisse.
Genève, Suisse. Oh, professeur Vergara va être content. Where are you coming from? D'où vous venez?
France.
Oh, France! Exceptional. Okay. Only 3 here. Frédéric, 3 sont présents? Yes, of course. Okay, so it means that now, you know, the most important person in the room is Ramunas. Because Ramunas is taking the photo. The main characteristic in the DBA program is that you have more faculty than students, you know? And so it must a lot. And now we are going to move to the second part of the graduation ceremony. We are going to deliver the DBA degree. And I will call Professor Marie-Christine Chalut-Sauvanet from the University of Lyon to come on the stage with me, because as you know, we have a very strong partnership with the University of Lyon. So long that I don't remember when it was created. Maybe in 2000, Stephen, en quelle année a été créé le partenariat?
Avec 2013.
Ah, oui, mais avec le partenariat avec 2014 ou 2015. Yes, we created the partnership with the University of Lyon in 2014 or 2015. So it's a very long partnership, and it means that you know that all the students who are registered in Business Science Institute, they are at the same time registered in the University of Lyon, in IAE Lyon, and they receive at the end of the process, at the end of the day, at the end of the journey, they receive the executive DBA from Business Science Institute, and they receive the DBA from the University of Lyon, IEAE, signed by the president of the university. Of course, the students who are graduated today will receive today the DBA from Business Science Institute, and in a few months they will receive it from the University of Lyon in March. Can we explain this delay? No, we cannot explain.
I can.
Okay, the only difference is that we are a very small organization and the University of Lyon is a very huge organization. Do you want to say some words, please?
Okay, the head of the IAE Lyon is not here today, but I represent him, and I confirm that we have a really strong partnership together, and we are really proud about our students, because really you are the bridge between practitioner and researcher, and it's so important for us. So thank you, Michel, and thank you all the staff for the work that you are doing all the years. Thank you.
So now we are calling on the stage Gérald Brand. Apparemment, Frédéric n'est pas content de la façon dont les choses se passent.
Juste appuyer les noms et après c'est un par un.
Ah,
Voilà.
ok.
Ça sera plus simple.
Okay, so we do it from the beginning, you know. We will go back on all the slides. So the students who today will receive their degree are from Geneva, Gérald Brand. Céline Cheval-Calvaire. She's not alone. Laurence Lengtac. Joseph-Henri Icori à Stéphane Royer. Ledoux Tuisseux Nongang. Les étudiants appartiennent à la cohorte du DBA à distance en français. And two students are from the German-speaking group in Frankfurt, Dominique Braque et Barbara Hofstadt. There is also one German track online, and Raphael Boltinger. Will Frédéric be happy if I go ahead like that? You know, that's very important. Frédéric has to be happy. Okay, so now I call Gérald Brand. Professeur Michel Bergala. Now we call Céline Cheval-Calvaire. Maintenant, nous allons commencer. Le professeur Olivier Lavasque de l'Université de Grenoble-Alpes.
effectivement au directeur de thèse parce que l'on sait qu'une soutenance de thèse, en général, l'essentiel du mérite, c'est le directeur de thèse.
I'm joking, you know, of course I'm just saying that the day of the defense, we have to say thank you to the supervisor, but of course the graduate student did the best. Let's go! Matchmaker! We are matchmaker. Oh, the husband is here. No, we are not matchmaker. Okay. Yeah, you know that generally the husband register the year after. You know, so you can send your CV. Maintenant, nous appelons Laurence Leung-Tak et son professeur, le professeur Lavax. Malax, pardon, Marc Malax de l'Université de Nice.
Nous allons maintenant remettre le diplôme de Didier à Joseph-Henri Icori à Yongno et nous demandons au professeur Yvon Pesqueux, qui est son directeur de thèse, Nous appelons maintenant M. Stéphane Royer pour lui remettre son diplôme de Doctorate in Business Administration. Et le professeur Michel Verdiada à nouveau, qui a beaucoup d'impact cette année, qui a été son directeur de thèse.
Nous appelons maintenant Monsieur Ledoux Tuisseux Nangang et son directeur de thèse, le professeur Emmanuel Candem.
Ledoux Tuisseux Nangang n'a pas pu effectuer le voyage depuis le Québec, donc je peux résumer peut-être en 2 mots. Alors, il a fait une thèse sur les facteurs de réussite de l'entrepreneuriat des Camerounais au Québec, partant du constat que le Québec attire davantage des migrants venus d'Afrique. Il s'est donc dit c'est une opportunité. Il a fait la thèse qui a donc montré les obstacles à l'insertion sociale au Québec des Camerounais et les opportunités. Alors, c'est une thèse qui, du point de vue impact managérial et sociétal, est important. Pour résumer, on va dire que la perte de ressources humaines liée à la forte immigration des Camerounais vers le Québec est largement compensée par une arrivée massive de flux financiers, parce que tous ces Camerounais qui partent travailler au Québec, l'essentiel de leurs revenus sont transférés au Cameroun pour le développement du Cameroun. Et c'est ça le principal impact sociétal de cette thèse. Merci.
C'est formidable lorsque le docteur n'est pas là, c'est le professeur qui prend la parole et on a l'explication du sujet de thèse. Donc on va revenir en arrière et demander aux autres professeurs de présenter le sujet de thèse de leur doctorant. Ensuite, nous appelons, merci professeur Candel, nous appelons Dominique Braque et son directeur de thèse, le professeur Marc Hellman. a dû nous quitter. Il est remplacé par le professeur Anne Martel qui dirige ces groupes-là. Nous appelons maintenant Madame Barbara Hofstad pour lui remettre le diplôme de DBA du Business Science Institute. Et nous demandons au professeur Martel de revenir. Maintenant, Monsieur Raphaël Bolsinger et le professeur Birgit Hagen. Alors, je dois signaler que c'est une union extrêmement récente, puisqu'ils se sont rencontrés pour la première fois le jour de la soutenance, c'est-à-dire hier. I must say that that's a very recent meeting between the two. That's a very recent union, meeting, wedding. Okay, they just met yesterday. They've been working together during 3 years, and they work online, and they met yesterday during the defense. So it demonstrates very clearly that it works. And we do hope that they will have a lot of babies in publishing articles and books and so on. Now we call Mr. Sidi Bouharé from and the professor.
C'est la professeure Kos qui dirigeait la thèse. Mais elle a été opérée récemment.
Yeah,
Je pense qu'on la remercie d'être venue sur tes béquilles hier.
that's right.
Okay, sorry about that.
Le professeur Jean Desmaz, qui a dirigé cette thèse, n'a pas pu être parmi nous aujourd'hui pour des raisons de santé. Et nous l'avons remplacé pour de la soutenance et nous invitons les professeurs référents du groupe de Dakar, le professeur Bengozi, le professeur Fatou Saad, sur la tribune pour la photo. Maintenant, j'appelle Monsieur Phai Som, qui vient du Cambodge, de la promotion de Bangkok. Sa thèse était dirigée par le professeur Marc Weyman, qui n'a pas pu rester avec nous cet après-midi, et le professeur référent est le professeur Lars Varden. He came from Bangkok. Not here. No. Okay. The professor was the supervisor was the professor Lars Meyer Varden.
can register very soon. No problem. Just send a CV. You're right, the market is growing, so take your place now. Reservation. Okay. And so we will send the degree. Thank you very much. And congratulations to him, please.
And then we will move to the degree, or between the degree of the Digital DBA from Schema Business School and Business Science Institute. We had a very nice partnership, and Professor Lapomola is here, I think. Yes, thank you, Professor Lapomola. And we will call Carol Ann Eby on the stage. She's not here, unfortunately. Yes, she is. Professor Mitter, when you have not the information, please don't give me wrong information. She said that you were not here. You did a very good job. A very nice defense. When the member of the jury went out, they say, exceptional work. They said that. So you have to know it. Okay, congratulations. And now I would like to call Mr. Daredin Bouslama, coming from Luxembourg. Yes, coming from Luxembourg. He is registered in the Digital DBA. And the supervisor is Professor Gajewski from the University of Lyon. That's right. When I was the Dean of IEM Strasbourg Business School, I gave him his degree in IEM Strasbourg Business School 10 years ago. That's very nice to say that it was 10 years ago. And now we are going to talk, and it is the first time today, about impact. You are supposed to smile when I say that, please. Okay, thank you for your smile, I really appreciate it. Some in the crowd are listening what I'm saying. And now it is the third part of the graduation ceremony, and for that we will give the floor to Professor Jean-Pierre Elfer, who is the president of our academic committee. We don't want to lose the president of our academic committee.
Me neither.
Please, Jean-Pierre.
Okay, so guys, my friends, an award, a specific award for the managerial impact of some thesis. First of all, I can tell you a secret. When I choose my dress this morning, finally I have two options. The first one was to be dressed like a manager, because it's a managerial impact, an award for that. And at that time I can have a dress, perhaps Jean-François, perhaps a jean, a blue jacket without a tie. And finally my wife said, wow, you're working in BSI, but BSI, it's for sure the managerial impact, the managerial award, and you will give something about the managerial things, managerial items, managerial issues, but you are a professor, you are the chairman of the academic steering committee, so that my wife said, no, please, your academic goal will be excellent to explain that you will give an award, a managerial award. So finally, it's my secret. Second, The decision is coming from the academic steering committee. Wow. It means that we have a lot of meetings, we check a lot of files, and here the members of the academic steering committee, I can especially thank Alan, Damien, and some others, and here Nathalie, blah blah, and a lot of faculty, many times a senior faculty, because to give an award, we should be absolutely senior. It's a long process. And finally, we have files, and we have a grade. The grade is coming from the 2 or 3 faculties who did the report to the thesis. And with some items, I think it's 5 items, and items are communication, clothing to the sectors, clothing to a company, and finally, we have grades. And it was yesterday, close to evening, it was at the end of the afternoon. And at that time, we checked all the files, really clearly prepared by Frédéric, because Frédéric is our support for that. And we have a lot of excellent theses. Why? Because if there is no managerial impact in a DBA, BSI thesis, no thesis, no supervisor, no award, nothing. Finally, they can perhaps apply for other DBAs worldwide, I don't know where. But here in BSI, if there is no managerial impact at that time, there is no thesis. Good. And finally, it was very difficult, because as soon as you have to decide between so many excellent theses, we should decide. And finally, we decided to nominate 3 theses. 3. 3 theses are nominated. Now, I can give the names of the 3 theses. The first one is Céline. Please. Her thesis is absolutely confidential because she's working on a specific sector in Switzerland, and in Switzerland everything is secret. The second is Barbara. So finally, and we really appreciate the managerial impact of your thesis. And the third one is Raphael. Raphael is here. So, you understand that especially we have a gender equilibrium excellent today. And finally, really frankly speaking, your thesis were appreciated for sure by your jury, but especially your managerial impact. And you are 3 nominated, and perhaps we have enough time, perhaps to have some explanations about the 3 theses. So now, who is the first? The first is Barbara. Barbara, please. You have 2 minutes, 3 minutes, more? 3 minutes. 3 minutes to explain your thesis.
And you can hear me. The topic of my thesis is boundary spanning in digital transformation. I conducted a mixed method safety case study about learning in a vocational education department supervised by Anna. And if you want to know what boundary spanning is, well, typically entities, organizations or teams are separated by borders, boundaries. They may be organizational, they may be hierarchical, they may be national, and boundary spanning means overcoming those boundaries in the interest of proliferation of knowledge, learning, or as many researchers have shown, in order to create or foster innovation. In a vocational education and training department, it rather looks like these images. And it constitutes a relevant problem of today's managerial world. And I would like to quote Mrs. Wiese, who happens to be the member of the board of the Siemens AG, who says one of her major topics is learning ability. How to keep people fit for future challenges. How can we keep people sustainably employable? Now, in order to go about my research, I chose an interpretive paradigm with an abductive research design and an exploratory sequential design, to be more specifically, with that single case study. So I started with 21 qualitative, semi-structured interviews, and based on those findings of this qualitative research, I set up a quantitative online survey with the total department of the German VAT, the department where I was doing my research of, representing 62% of the population, and integrated those. Now, as to managerial impact, when big companies like ours talk about learning, they typically talk about growth mindset. And in new normal conditions, managerial impact means driving the culture change by leadership and trust, and that's what was able to be established by my thesis. And building bridges beyond your own team really leads to sustainable operations of a VET department, in particular as to regards relevance and adequacy of vocational education training for a company. And that, together with creating and sharing use case-based knowledge openly and with passion, constitutes what makes boundary spanning an app method to lead to social learning. Thank you very much.
Dr. Barbara, thank you. The next one is Raphael. Raphael, please, you have the stage for 10 minutes to explain your paper.
Yeah, thank you very much. My research was about private equity as succession model for Mittelstand. Mittelstand, maybe not everyone knows Mittelstand. The word Mittelstand is basically successful SMEs, which is small and medium-sized enterprises. Mittelstand is really the heart of the German economy. So around about 99.5% of the companies in Germany are Mittelstand, and they employ around about 60% of all workers in Germany. So we have clearly one of the most biggest problem in Mittelstand is, or one of the really most major problem is almost every second company in Mittelstand is not prepared for succession. That means it's a big problem because Mittelstand, of course, has a huge impact on Germany's economy and, of course, on the social stability. My research approach was clearly, first of all, I faced limited extant research. So basically I had to focus on Mittelstand, primary buyout, succession planning, private equity, and I faced the problem that there's not so much literature available. So I prepared a qualitative research strategy with an abductive approach, with a representative company, which is called TICOM. And basically I've done an in-depth case study with unlimited access to rich data for this primary buyout. This was coupled with expert interviews, and as you can see here, we have more or less seen both sides of the coin, sell side and private equity. So rich data means semi-structured interviews with private equity, M&A experts and the company. Then of course I was able to participate on almost every negotiation and almost every meeting, and in general we had rich data. The impact was my results and managerial recommendations where I prepared a process-based conceptual framework for sell and buy side, so for private equity and for Mittelstand, beginning from preparation for the buyout, leading to negotiations, to closing signing. So basically it was to fully execute the succession-based buyout. Furthermore, I had a chance to plan or to prepare a checklist for both sides with clear measurements on how to prepare the company for this pilot. So, to make the long story short, one of the most biggest impacts of my research was a step-by-step guidance on how to succeed with private equity in succession. Thank you.
Because you are three, you are, of course, you can come to give some details about your thesis.
So, hello everyone. So, just before to start the presentation, I have a quick question for you. How many people in there got a watch on the wrist? Could you raise your hand just to show me? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So you will be very interesting about this subject. So, as I explained, my thesis was about the responsible purchasing in the watchmaking industry, and especially how the deployment of the responsible purchasing is deployed in the sector, especially with the buyers and the suppliers. So the method was like this. So I didn't want to start with a quality design. So by the way, I tried to have semi-structured interview with 55 people about the same diode, buyers and suppliers, to understand how they communicate and how they feel and see the deployment of the purchasing responsibility. The analysis helped me to define a different aspect and dimension, especially one very important about the commercial purposes. And we were able to define 3 levels of recommendation that we will show just right now. So basically, the research showed that there is 4 topics. We show some different results. The first things with the buyers and the suppliers, they have an elementary comprehension about the sustainable development, the purchasing responsibility, and the corporate social responsibility. So that means together they cannot well understand what they have to do about the purchasing responsibility. The organization of the deployment is very low. There is no objectives in the sector, and by the way, the buyer, they don't know really well what they have to do. In terms of methods, we saw that the only element available in the sector is the compliance documentation. So the people, the buyers, send all of paper to their suppliers, and they hope very well the suppliers sign the paper in return. And the big impact, what we saw in this kind of typology, is the commercial insincerity. So we decided to define 3 levels of recommendation. The first one is for the people about the supply chain, the buyer, the purchasing manager, and the supply chain director. So the first thing for the people in the industry is to be trained and educated to well understand exactly the different topics about sustainable development, the purchasing responsibility, and the corporate social responsibility. And then to transfer the relation between them in relational approach, though, and to close the situation that only the transaction and the commercial aspect is important. And the buyer, the suppliers have an important role in this game. They have to integrate their own purchasing application with their customers. The final recommendation I would like to deploy in the industry is to create an association of practice. By the way, when we discussed with all of the people, the 55 people, I saw that they were not very educated and well conscious, aware about the question of the sustainable development. So this community, this association could help them to well define and deploy their own responsible purchasing, and maybe they help them to define a similar supply chain in the industry. Thank you for your attention.
So, first of all, I can explain what I'm thinking about the award. And we have 2 specific things. The first one is to give a room support to enter the media. And finally, the winner will have an open room an open door to explain a lot of things about your thesis. There is a second award, and we just decided on that. It can be a standing ovation at the end of this meeting, because you can see that everybody is a little bit tired, and perhaps the winner can recheck, and for the photos, a standing ovation of everyone. We started, it's not finished. We started at 6:30, something like that, 6:30, 7 yesterday to decide. 7:30. Around 7:30 we decided the 3 nominees. You, for sure that, all other theses were excellent, but we decided the 3 nominees. 7:30, 8, 8:30. At 8:30 perhaps Raphael can be the winner. But we decided to go further. At 9, around 9, Barbara suddenly were the winner. Around 10 or 10:30, Céline, you were really on the top of the podium. And we arrived to 11 p.m. And at that time, it was absolutely impossible to decide who is the winner. And finally, at the end of the day, we decided the 3 nominees gave the award. All the 3, you are the winners.